Okay, so I am doing the reading for Brent. So
Hi, Mel. Hi, everyone.
Hi. So we're going to go through a few different levels. So I'm going to do this as we're going to go into a little bit more in depth of a reading than I would do if I was doing a 20-minute. We've got a 20-minute audio where I'm going to cover. I call it. It's like the 70-30 rule, where we'll cover 70% of the main things that you really need to know about. And so the audios can be really good, especially if you're an auditory kind of person. But then when I'm doing a much more in-depth reading, with that one, that would be, you would get a manual, and the manual will be your blueprint booklet of who you are.
Yep.
So it's extremely in-depth. In fact, depending on your chart, it's going to depend on, it could be anything up to 100 pages long.
That long?
Yeah.
Oh
So,
my God.
for example, I've got I've only got I think two other people that have got more activations in their chart than I do. Mine is quite in depth. So the more in depth it is, the more information you're gonna have.
That makes sense.
But
Yeah.
then for some people, it can be, if you're just new into, say, astrology or looking into self, that may be too in depth for these people. But if you've done a lot of personal development work and you've already dabbled your toes into all of these areas, well, this is something that would work much better. Having a full reading and getting a blueprint manual of you is definitely going to be the better way to go. And in that, you will get your manual, but then we're going to sit here and do what we're doing right now, which is either do a face-to-face if I'm in your city, or we could be doing it over Zoom, or it could be Facebook. It doesn't really matter, but I'm going to sit down and I'm going to go through and interpret for you the most important things about your design for you. The most important thing to know is be yourself, because everyone else is taken. So
I like that.
that's really important. This is something that I think we all tend to forget, and we're too busy really living our lifestyle of everybody else. So the first 7 years of your life is your what's called your blueprint, if you haven't heard of it before. And this is it's complete conditioning. And what happens is this conditioning by your parents, by your teachers, by your community. If you've got religion, you're living what everybody else tells you to do. You're not necessarily living individually for you. And absolutely everybody's gone through this. We're all guilty of this, okay? But what happens is because we're living everybody else's lives but ourselves, we end up wearing all these masks. So human design is about removing the mind. So all of the different personality tests that are out there, like Myer, briggs, the enegram, the disc profile, they're all fabulous. I've done all of them. They're really, really good. However, they're all asking questions to get to the answer. So depending on your mood that day, it's going to depend on how you answer it.
So there's no questions here.
There's no question other than finding out your birth name, your birth city, and your time of birth. That's all I need from you.
Is it similar to numerology?
It is. Basically, it's using 5 different modalities put into one. Okay, so we're covering everything from Eastern and Western astrology, the hexagrams, the I Ching, and a few other modalities, and it's all working together. And then I add my stuff on top of this. So we're actually doing about 6 or 7 modalities in one when I do one of your readings.
So would you call this the most in-depth personality test you can do in the world?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And the thing is, the difference is, if you were doing any of the other personality tests, I know I did the 16 personalities. It was brilliant. It was great for me. And then I went and did all of this study, and I was doing all this business study. So when I went a year or so later and I did it again, my whole thing changed because of where I was at. Yeah. And what I'd learned and where my mindset was at the time. So with all the other tests, it's going to constantly keep changing. When you do your human design blueprint, it never changes. This is you from start to finish. Okay, this is you. This is what runs your show. This is how your aura works. This is how you individually should be making decisions for you. Yeah. Okay, so it has absolutely, this is not something that you can alter. So you can go change your name, right?
It's still the same inside.
But it's going to be exactly the same. Okay, so especially, you know, for women that have gone and changed their name at marriage, I'm wanting your birth name. Your birth name holds a lot of well, in one component of my readings, it holds a lot of power. Okay, but it's about the time that you're born. So when we look at your chart, we're going to actually, and you guys, I'm going to show you a separate video of that so I can give you some information. But when we get your chart, we're going to have two sets of information. We're going to have the information, which is your personality, and it comes down the right hand side of the chart. So what I'll do is I'll bring up a chart here. Okay, so I'm going to show you, we've got the chart here.
Is that me?
That's you. So
yep.
On this side in the black, this is showing where the planets were at the moment of your birth.
Yep.
And that creates your personality. This is what did I want to experience this lifetime, okay? And on this side of the chart is where it was what's called 88 degrees prior, which is approximately 88 to 89 days prior to your birth. And some people believe it's when your soul actually comes into the vessel that you've been given, which is your car.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. And for some of the planets, it's going to be the same degrees on both sides, but basically you're going to get different information of what is your personality and what is your design. So your design means, I call it like your Akashic record. So this is the stuff that is ingrained deeply in you that you may have learned from previous lifetimes, okay? And this is, I call the stubborn stuff. This is when I know
I'm good at that.
Yeah, when you're really stubborn because your body is screaming to you. It's not your head working, it's your body's working and it's saying, no, 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 this is right, and there's no negotiation. And the mind's not involved, right? This is a body thing. And so this is the deep-rooted stuff. So sometimes you'll find in your chart you would have a line that is both black and red. So when we have a look at the chart, we're going to have these different coloured lines coming out of these different areas, and that is going to, sometimes it's going to be, I've experienced this, but I want to experience it again. And so you're going to have the red and the black line in that particular line on your chart. So with human design, we don't work with the 7 chakras, we work with the 9 centers. So we basically have got the head, we've got the third eye, which is also called the ajna. So this is about thinking, you know, oh, well, yeah, it's about sometimes all the things,
not
you know,
thinking.
yeah, it's, yeah, we think about things that don't matter. We've got, you know, thoughts and inspiration that comes from the third eye. We've got the throat chakra, which is how we communicate. And then we've got the heart, which has been split in this case into the heart and the G center. So this is where we're getting the 9 centers. So the heart is about willpower. Okay, whereas the G center is about identity, purpose, where is my love coming from? So they've got different areas. So you'll see that we've got the yellow triangle or square, I should say, right in there. So that is your G center. Then we have got the solar plexus has been split into 2. So we've got the solar plexus is your emotional center, and the spleen, which is your caring and fear center. We have your sacral, which is where all of your battery packets, your energy comes from. And then we've got the root chakra, which is really where your adrenaline can come from. Okay?
Oh, I've got lots of that root chakra.
Yes. Well, so in saying that, so what I'm going to do with you is we're going to have a look at your chart. I'm going to start with the simple stuff. And this simple stuff, I want you to understand, is the most vital stuff. Okay?
Why is that?
Because this is the stuff that's the hardest to master. And this is what you need to really master when you're doing human design. So the first thing we're going to look at is what kind of being are you? So we have got, based on the design, we've got 5 different designs. We have a generator and a manifesting generator. That means your aura is a double length of your arms, like a big bubble. And it's very welcoming, and you'll find that people are really drawn to you. Okay, and the manifesting generators and the generators are like 70% of the population, and they tend to be the workers and the doers and the builders. Then we have got the projectors, which are 20% of the population, and they're more your guides. Okay, we have got the manifestors, which is about 8 to 9% of the population. They are the only ones that can truly manifest. We keep getting told we can manifest everything, and that's quite incorrect. And how we're taught how to manifest is incorrect. But the manifestors are natural. They think and do, think and do, think and do. That's how they can do it. They are the only ones that can naturally do
Does
this.
it happen really quickly?
Really quickly. In fact,
That's
a little
you,
bit too quick.
too.
No, I'm not a manifestor. I'm a generator.
That's me, isn't it?
No,
No?
not at all. So this is where the confusion comes. So then we have the reflectors. So the reflectors, their charts are very open, and they're like a mirror to everyone. So if we think of building a construction site, so the manifestor goes, I think we can build this great building right here on this site. So they're the ones that think and do, and they get it done. Then we have got the manifesting generators, and the generators will come in, and they're the builders to build the skyscraper.
Oh, right.
The projectors are come in, and think of them like the site foreman coordinators.
Yep.
And the reflectors will be the person that you put in the middle, like a HR person, where you put them in the middle of all the departments. So you've got the general workers, and you've got the supervisors, the builders, the the tech people, the architectures, all the different levels, and they sit in the middle, and they can feel how everybody is or isn't happy, and they're able to go and report that because they reflect everybody because they're quite open. So in your chart, you're what's called a manifesting generator. And the most common error is that people hear the word manifester. That does not mean you're a manifester, period. Okay? You are a generator. But the difference is, so you're a doer, you're a worker, okay? But the difference when you're a manifesting generator is that you can put your fingers in 5 pies at the same time. And you must do that. That's what's imperative being a manifesting generator, is that you need to be doing, say 3 to 5 activities at once or projects at once, but you don't need to complete any of them. Okay? If anything, you might complete 1 or 2 out of them. But the reason why you need to do that is that you've got all this energy that is literally like a ping pong ball bouncing around in your body. Ding, 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 ding,
Yeah,
ding, ding,
a lot of people
Just...
say that to me. Where do you get that energy from? Now I know.
So this is what it is, right? So you've literally got so much energy bouncing in your body that if you don't burn it, okay, then you're just going to lose your bananas. It's that simple. So you must be doing lots and lots of projects at the same time, but the imperative thing is not kicking yourself if you don't complete them, because you're not necessarily, you're not supposed to be completing them. So you'll start something and you get on a roll and you're like, oh yeah, blah, 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 and you start writing things and researching things, and then it just sort of fizzles out. And that's okay. Okay, so this is the hard thing to get through the heads, is that it is okay if you don't finish projects. Because out of 5, you will probably only complete 2, and that's okay.
Yep.
That is how you're supposed to work. Now, you're not a pure manifesting generator, because with a pure manifesting generator, there's a certain amount of gates that you would have, and those people tend to be a little bit more selfish and self-centered. But you still have the main components of being a manifesting generator. And part of that is literally, it's got to do with, you'll see that there's this line that goes from the throat all the way down to the sacral, okay?
Yep.
So in here. And this is actually what is the main gates of the manifesting generator. And there's a gate that's missing right here, which is number 57. If you had that, that's a pure manifesting generator, which means you're a bit more full on, right?
More full on.
More full on. But that's the person who has that gate 57 and is the one that you're always going to be looking for. It's like that person with that gate is the one that, feels like it completes you.
Someone with more energy than me.
It's more what that gate would represent, right? And it's the thing that you're missing, yes.
Yeah.
So when we have a look at a chart, we're going to see that you're going to have some lines that go from start to finish, and we're going to have what we call hanging gates, so this little black line on the outside. This just means that it's the yin and the yang. So when it's all connected, that's the balance of the yin and the yang, okay? So you're always looking for the other yang to your yin or yin to your yang. That's what when you get attracted to people and when they flow better with you is when they balance you out by having the gate that you're missing for, that you're looking for.
I would call it the calmness gate.
Wow.
Is that a gate? Probably is.
Yeah, there is a few. Okay, so first things first was you're a manifesting generator. So that means that your aura is enveloping and it's very inviting to people. So people are going to be naturally drawn to you.
That's why people always tell me the secret.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that and some of your, because of some of your other gates, there's some ones that in there that actually are trust for you. Okay, so in regards to you and the way that you need to make decisions, okay, for you, you are an emotional manifesting generator. So that means that you need to not make decisions from your head, not make decisions from what's called intuition. You need to make decisions from an emotional center. So it means that you have to feel it in your body and you go, all right, something's happened. Where do I feel it in my body? Do I feel it in my throat? Do I feel it in my chest? Do I feel it in my gut? And does it feel good or bad? And that is how you need to make all your major decisions in your life. The difference between emotional decisions and intuitive is the sounds that come out of your body, like what you just did. The That's what's actually called making decisions from what's called your sacral, which is how I have to make decisions for myself. So when I have made decisions emotionally or made decisions from my head, it's cost me many, many zeros. Because
dollars, you mean?
Yes, because it has been the incorrect way for me.
Yep.
Okay, so the correct way to actually do it for you is to feel it in your body and go, is this a good feeling or a bad feeling? So
with any decision you make, whatever, with anything.
Pretty much. Yeah. Specifically the big ones.
Yeah, relationship ones.
Okay. The good old relationship ones. All right. So, So the next thing that I normally do is I'm going to look at these areas that are white. Okay.
Yep.
And the areas that are white are what I call your shadow. So these
are the ones that are missing on there.
Yeah. So these are the ones that are running your show. Because right now, everything that's coloured in your chart is everything that you can call on at any given time, and it is accurate.
So they're the tools I have, and
they're your tools, right?
Yep.
But think of the little devil sitting on your shoulder, whispering in your ear, "Go do this, blah blah blah." You know, oh, I'm not sure. Are they saying the right thing? Are they lying to me? Blah blah blah. That's what we have to deal with, and this is what's called your shadow. So with your chart, correct. Okay. Now you don't have anything that predominantly runs the show, because in each one of the white sections we've got a gate that's actually a line that's coming out of it. If you had one of them that has no lines, then I know that that's the one that tends to run your show 90% of the time. But with this one, you've got 3 different areas. So you've got your head, which means that you are thinking about things that don't matter most of the time, which 70% of us tend to do that. We've got your third eye, which is about trying to convince everybody that you're certain. And we've got the root chakra, which is you're in a hurry to get things done, to get free of pressure. You feel pressure to do things.
You're right.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. I want to get it done.
All right. So the issue... Okay, so your common word would be frustration. Okay. So when you're not in flow and things aren't working out, you feel frustrated.
Yeah,
So when you're in flow, you feel satisfaction. So when you're not in flow and you're feeling frustrated and something's happening, you need to ask yourself those questions. Am I trying to convince somebody that I'm certain? Am I just trying to get rid of this pressure that I'm feeling, or am I thinking about things that don't matter? So this is about getting you into the habit of actually doing that and realizing if that's the case, when you work out which one it is, there's going to be one of the 3, I guarantee. And then let that shit go. Because the thing with you, your extra component that you have is because the root at the bottom and the head is open, think of it like a plastic container, a pressure cooker, and it's just like that bottle's twisting, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's you. So you're constantly feeling this extra pressure that some of us don't get. I don't get that, but because both the root and the head's open, you feel that extra pressure, and that pressure is what's really messing you up, okay? And it just forces you even more to do anything at any cost to get rid of the pressure. When you don't like something or something makes you uncomfortable, you will do whatever the fuck you got to do to get the fuck out of there. So think of it like like say you're on a date and you feel uncomfortable with something, you just bolt, you run. You just, I got to get out of here. What can I do to get out of here? Oh my God, to get someone to text
yesterday.
Shit, mate.
The girl's house, I did it yesterday.
Okay.
I'm out.
There you go. All right, so this is what happens when you've got that root and the head chakra that's open.
I don't think I thought at all.
So this is about getting the human design chart done is about really becoming conscious about these things, specifically when you're doing them. And you'll get really quick with it, especially when you start realizing, oh, I'm frustrated, which one is it? Oh, okay, let it go. Because here's the fundamental thing with, and what we teach, which is the hardest component. Okay, so it took you 7 years to get your blueprint.
Yep.
They say it takes 7 years to decondition out of the way that we've been conditioned our whole lives. Some people, the ones that do really do the work, can do it quicker than that. But it will generally, they say it takes 7 years for you to get this shit natural, and it's like scrub the crap out of your colon and you're done, right? And you're living your life the way you're supposed to. You are not supposed to be living it the way everybody else is telling you to do it, okay? So, for a projector, for example, they don't have a natural battery in their bodies, so they're constantly tired. So doing a 9-to-5 job for them doesn't suit them, okay? So, so people call them lazy because they always want to sleep. They're not lazy, they're just freaking tired because that's the way that they're designed.
Sure.
With you, you have 3 out of the 4 power centers, so you have a lot of energy. So that's why I'm saying you have this pinball bouncing around your body because you've just got so much energy. So for you, doing physical activity would be really important. So I know that you do a bit of golf.
Yep.
My suggestion to you is don't do the golf range, go do the golf course. And if you're not doing the golf course, make sure that you're going to walk on the beach at night and ground yourself and try and do a lot more physical exercise. Physical exercise for you is going to be imperative. Because it's not just about using your mental ability and having fingers in 5 different pies mentally. We need you to physically start using that battery energy because you'll find it hard to sleep.
If I don't.
Correct. This will really dramatically affect your sleep.
No, I don't want to be woken up at 3:38 every day.
In the middle of the night?
Is that the spirit stuff?
Yeah, that's when the world is the quietest. So if you're waking up between 3 and 4 in the morning, generally that means that you should be getting up and writing or meditating because that's when we get all of our messages that come through. And it's because the planet, because it's when the planet is the quietest and the calmest vibration.
I can get up there and I won't feel tired.
100%, yeah. But if you're, you're getting messages from that, but if you're finding that you're not sleeping, like you're only doing a couple of hours a day, that is because you're a bouncing energy bunny. You're a little Duracell bunny.
Yeah, people say that.
So, all right. So what else have we got here? Oh, my goodness. All right. We can go so deep with your charts, and when we're doing the larger ones, we're going to start going into a much deeper level and actually looking at certain things in regards to how you operate. So give me 1 sec here.
Yeah.
All right. So with you, with some people, when I do their charts, it only shows one word, for example, with the kind of work that they're supposed to be doing. So I did one the other day, and she had one word, and that was motivator.
Yep.
Okay, that is her role of what she should be doing in life. Some people, the more activations they've got, they may actually have more things that they're able to do, which actually means that they're more of a specialist. Okay, the more words that come out for the roles, the more of a specialist that you will be.
Yep.
So for you, and this makes a lot of sense, the roles that have come up is witness, trustee, a negotiator, and a person of action. So the person of action really is, part to do with the gates that are attached to when you're a manifesting generator.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've got all this extra energy that you can call on at any given time, means that you can just keep going. Okay, you do have a gate that does say that you need to balance the rest of the play.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's really important. But in saying that, a lot of your gates were really talking about things like you're a natural listener. It did say, yeah, it says you're a natural listener. That it's really your potential completely for work. It lies in doing something that you love. So that's imperative, and because when you've got the generator component, the number one thing for a generator is that you must be doing a job that you love. Okay? If you are not doing something that brings you joy, you're just going to be miserable.
Yeah.
And for you, you have a specific gate that talks about your potential. So it actually activates when you're doing something you love and opens up that potential door for you to really access all this other stuff.
I got lots of goosebumps in my legs and my head then.
Okay.
Hearing that.
You love getting heaps of skills, which makes sense because one of the things we were just talking about before was that you were listing all the different skills that you actually have. This is part of your chart. This is why you keep learning more modalities, is because you thoroughly love getting more skills and tools to put in your tool belt to help other people.
Yep.
You really see life in the now, so you're actually quite good at looking at the right now. However, there is components in here.
Here we go. There's learning here. I can see it, I reckon.
Well, okay, so we've got a couple of gates that are in those open centers. And they're the ones that, instead of working what we call, you've got your high expression, your low expression. So when you've got one of those lines coming out of the area that's coloured in, that one's fully activated in a positive way.
Yep.
When you've got a line that's coming out of an open area, the open areas basically mean that you're open to interpretation from the external world. So instead of something coming from the inside out, which is all the coloured in bits, you're getting it from the outside in.
That's when it's not coloured in the chart.
Correct.
Yep.
So, down here you've got these gates 54 and 19 that they're in the root chakra, and they are in an area that's open. So that means that instead of you could end up in the low expression of this. So some of the things that you've got, well, that 19, for example, is that you desire material and emotional needs.
Material?
Yeah, hang on. Which requires successful interaction with others. So sometimes you may feel that what you've got isn't enough.
Okay. Yeah,
to interact with others. Okay.
In materialistic way.
Well, yeah, sometimes it will be in a materialistic way. Or that it could be that you're in a group, because I always say if you're the smartest person in the room, get out of the room. So you might feel a little bit more intimidated to get in a room with people that know more than you. So in that way, you might want to have more knowledge to feel more comfortable in a room of those sorts of people. So let's just say someone that's more spiritually aware has got more tools in their tool belt. Okay. All right. It says here you have a limitless drive to be successful. So if you're working in the low expression of that, it means that you just go, I just don't have it in me.
No.
I'm fucking, that's it. I'm
I had a job once, had to quit after 6 months. Just wasn't me.
Okay. But again, that comes to the gate that says you must love what you're doing for your full potential.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Yep. Another one that you've got in here, you're a natural skeptic. is
Actually, explain your definition of skeptic.
so I'm a skeptic. So I had that this morning with a guy that was doing readings on Facebook Live, and I said, "Oh, I'm enjoying watching you because I'm a natural skeptic." And a skeptic to me is I don't believe everything that's put in front of me.
Prove it to me.
It's a grain of salt over the shoulder, right? It is the prove it to me. So you are a natural skeptic, but when you are in the low expression of this, means you would be more gullible. So you would just believe what's in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay, but you are a natural skeptic. So it's about, really believing when something inside of you is going, maybe not. Maybe this isn't authentic and real. So earlier we were talking about the Mind, Body, Soul Festival, right?
Yeah.
And I was saying the amount of charlatans in there is ridiculous doing these bloody card readings because so many people walk in there and they freaking just deliver out all the answers on the table for someone because they've given them information and body language. Right?
What you just said actually makes a lot of sense because yesterday,
that
other thing we were talking about, when I went to pick my car up, I felt the need to go to 1,000 steps. I'm going to do my own thing rather than go to the other place I went to.
Okay, all right.
And I didn't know why.
There you go. All right.
So that wasn't my answer. Because I actually felt like going there instead of going there.
And so you had one that was working emotionally in your body saying, I should go to the 1,000 steps, but your head went, no, I'm going to go over
Yeah, but I should have trusted what I felt. And I didn't know why at the time, but now that's making sense.
Yeah.
Because I actually felt like, should I say what it was?
Yeah, it was.
Because we're going to publish this.
Yeah. It's up to you.
So I was going to arrange to go to this girl's house, right? But I went and picked my car up close to 1,000 steps. I love 1,000 steps. And my gut feel said I should go to 1,000 steps and do my own thing today. And I didn't know why, but now it makes sense after what we talked about today.
Okay. All right. So that
and I was really keen to go see the girl, but I really want to go to 1,000 steps.
Which comes into the fact that you have a gate that says you need time alone.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, so
even though I'm personable, I do need time alone.
Yes, and so you need to listen to that, okay? Because that gate, you have that activating you saying, I must spend some time alone. Now, a generator is normally always around people, but I have a gate. I'm extremely extroverted, but extremely introverted, right? So I have a gate that says I must sit still like a mountain, so that way I can get clarity. So I actually do time out. Every Friday night, I just don't talk to humans. You have to be in my inner circle to be around me because if you come to dump your shit on me on a Friday night, I'm going to be blunt with you.
Yeah.
And
I've seen that before. She goes, don't.
Yeah,
nothing. Oh, I get it.
So another gate that you need to be aware of is that you have this constant mental pressure to understand past events and issues. So what happens is this is when this shit is going to be going on in your mind. You're just going to go over and over and I need to understand, I need to understand, I need to understand. And because this gate is in the head,
I don't use my head anyway. Is that
well,
right? I shouldn't use my head.
No, you go, because you've got the gate of doubt and confusion, right? You literally spend so much time in your head thinking about things that don't matter, which is why you keep going, I want to understand why did this happen.
Like when we walked in this morning, it's done, finish, move on.
Right.
Yeah, when you walked in. Yeah,
okay. Yes, exactly.
Always relates to relationships.
Which makes sense because you always are constantly going over things because you keep trying to rationalise things.
Got to find a reason.
Right?
Mm.
So this is all the gates that are in your open areas, which means that you need to let that shit go.
Also, like, you know how the Beatles had a song?
Let it go.
Let it be. No, let it be. Let it be. No, just let it be because it's already happened. It's in the past.
Oh, mate,
that's
seriously.
What you mean, isn't it? It's in the past.
You do, right? And because these two are
didn't
in
work,
the head,
let it go. I get it.
Because these two are in the head area, remember we said we've got the pressure of the root and the head. You're constantly thinking about things that don't matter. I'm trying to rationalise it. I'm trying to understand what happened in the past. I need to understand the pressure. And then it starts doing this, and then you just lose your bananas.
So just trust my gut, really.
Trust your emotions.
Emotions, which is, I call them intuition.
Intuition.
Trust me inside.
Okay, so
I reckon here.
Okay.
Here?
Right,
here somewhere?
Okay.
You see? Here somewhere.
So let me...
Is it here somewhere? Seriously?
The intuition comes from...
Yeah, that's what I use all the time.
Right?
Here.
Well, actually, I should say from here, because this is the sacral and
gut.
this is the solar plexus.
Yeah.
This is the emotional centre. and this is the gut, right?
Mm.
So the difference is that when you are doing emotions, it is a feeling. When you are doing intuition, it is the sounds. So when it comes out of your body, it's the and if it's so that's the yes and the no's, and if there's no reaction, that means it's a no. So that's called intuition.
Oh, yeah,
But you need to use emotion, which is feelings, not the sounds. It's a feeling. Where is it in my body and how does it feel? So you need to decondition yourself.
I've never done that before. I'm always using my gut feel, I call it intuition.
I think it was only one of your gates in here was predominantly intuitive. It was one of your channels, actually. Which is intuitive. Like, for example, I have got so many gates that are activated in me, and they're all intuitive. So, or they're, what do they call it? Clairaudience, right? So I've got a bit of both, right? Even though I haven't fully activated it and understand how to use my clairaudience, the intuition part is natural for me.
Yep.
It's natural for me because I'm sacral. Okay, and so for me, I must use my intuition to make decisions. And when I've made decisions emotionally, I've screwed it up. For you...
Oh, but I've used my intuition for everything.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that's not correct for you.
You've been doing it wrong for like 2 years. Just 2 years, but
and how's that working for you so far?
Still single, yeah.
Okay, and not just single, it affects your family life, your career, your love life. It goes on to many, many levels. Yeah?
Mm.
Okay. So, all right. So some other things we're going to go over for you, because you've got 4 channels, most of them being the fact that you're a manifesting generator. It's all in the one area. So it's all in this little component here, which is your gates 20 down to 34. And, you don't have your 10s. That's really good. Okay. So... pretty much the way that this works for you is between your G center and your throat.
Yep.
This is about so G center, it's about in your sternum, right? And so this is about your G center is about your identity. You know, where is my love coming from? It's about knowing who you are and knowing your purpose. And yours is activated, which is good. And in that, you've got this connection straight from your identity and knowing who you are into your throat, which is really important. You also have an area that goes from your sacral, which is a battery pack, and it connects straight up to your throat. So this means that you're able to feel something and communicate it. Okay? And that's vital. So because of this, people actually... you have an instinct. Here's where your instincts work. This is instinctual more than intuitive. You instinctively have knowledge of other people's skills. You instinctively know their capabilities, right? So this is something that is natural for you.
You're right. Can I give an example of that? I played golf with John about 2 months ago, and he told me the business he had, and then I said, what else do you do? And I knew the business was a big business. I knew he did something else, and he did. Yeah. The Porsche race
so it's this instinctive thing. And because of this, you also have got, people feel quite comfortable coming to you. Yeah. They feel, and that is, well, this is, you're a natural listener. So this is...
I didn't think I ever was the way I grew up in my household.
Yeah. So people feel very comfortable.
But I still listen.
Yeah. So they're comfortable coming to you and talking to you. Which is great, because you have a gift for expressing thoughts in a creative way. So you don't use the hard tongue that I would use.
No,
yours is a little
all right.
different.
We're different. You're different human design.
We're very different. Okay, you need to be busy doing what you love is really important. I can't stress this enough for you. This is one of your major channels that's in your body graph, and this is this one that goes from your throat to your energy center, or from the energy center to your throat. So it's absolutely
I don't really do things that I don't like doing.
Good, because as soon as you do it, you're going to feel icky.
I don't like it.
Yeah, your stomach will go on knots. It'll affect your health, You need to work out where you belong in the world. this is really important for you, is really identifying, you know, the world that basically working out where. Yeah, it is. It's still recording.
Okay.
You need to work out where you belong in the world and live like that. So this is important for you to work out the decision.
I know. I'm supposed to live in Italy.
There you go. Yeah. So you need to work out what you're supposed to be doing and where you're supposed to be living, and just live like that. And that's about taking risks, which I know for some people can be really scary, but that's really imperative for you because this is one of your major channels. It's in your
I love
graph.
travel. I love being free. Is that right? Is that what's coming up?
Well, that's what you have to work out. I can't tell you that. That's
Okay,
something that you need to feel in the emotions of your body, and you'll know. You're here to change.
Well, I keep on having this dream. I haven't had it for a while, but this happens a few times a year. I mean,
there you go. Maybe you just need to travel there.
Well, that's what Shane said, actually.
Yeah.
Another business partner / mentor. Huh?
There you go. I love Italy. It's great.
Yeah.
You're also here to change the values in communities. And what happens is, you remember how you were saying that people tell you their secrets, which I get a lot of. This is because it's your aura actually gives off
Gold
this
aura?
trust.
Is it gold?
No, I don't. It doesn't specify colour or
Okay.
anything like that. This is one of your channels. So your channels talk. This particular channel that's activated in your chart is saying that your aura actually emanates this trust, which is again why people are drawn to you. So it's not just that you're a generator; it's that you've got different components in your specific chart that is drawing people in, and there is this trust that's happened with that. Okay.
So I'm misreading relationships. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Sometimes you really suck at that, but we'll get into that later.
This girl on the train last night. She was quite attractive, and she looked back at me. I sensed it. I noticed.
Yeah.
She was way younger than me. She'd been 25 or something.
Yeah, it's a bit young, isn't it?
It's way too young. Way too young. I'm 48.
Now we have something that's called your Chiron, and so when people, this is like an advanced astrological component of the chart, and your Chiron is what's called your wound, and we will really be tested off the top of my head with Chiron. I think in your about 50 something.
53?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go double check the age for that. But when your Chiron comes, yeah, I think it is. And so this is a specific wound that you need to work on, and it works off the year that you're born, because there's sort of like you'll have people, because you're in 1970 and I'm in 1972, and our wounds are exactly the same, right? We fall into the same category, which is we're constantly having to give in to the will of others, right? And you have to suppress your own wishes. And this is something that frustrates the living shit out of us.
I'll do that. I'll think of that later.
Well, I suppose you need to go back to, what's happened in your past, in regards to, growing up. Were you constantly just sucking shit up and being quiet?
Oh, yeah, Dad made me work in the shed out the back. I didn't really want to.
There you go.
I couldn't say anything if I did. You crack the shit, so I'd be in big trouble.
So what's going to happen is when this comes up again and Chiron comes into your chart and activates, this is about learning to work with that, because you're at an age now that when you're in your 40s, this is about working out what your purpose is. When you hit your 50s, this is about working out what your soul's purpose is.
Well, I had a realisation last week. Golf is my passion, but helping others is my purpose.
There you go.
And it's only last week.
Yeah. So this is all part of it, and that's really important for you to work out. Yeah.
I've got to do it now. I've been saying to myself.
Do it,
Tony. Do it. Is that right, Rocky?
Yeah, it is something like that, isn't it? Okay.
No, this is not the comedy channel.
So, all right, when we have a look at the planets that are on either side of your chart, the top two creates 70 to 80% of who you actually are as a being. So we've got where your planets are, where the sun was and where the earth was at the time of your birth and the 88 days prior. So you'll see here up the top, we've got the sun was in 19.6 and 24.3. And the Earth was at 33.6 and 44.3. And these are degrees, where they actually are, on the spectrum. And they all have got meanings with it. So for you, we look at the sun is the main component. That would be, 80% of who you are. And there is, I laughed when I saw this one.
I heard you laugh earlier.
Yeah, you're not going to like it. So this is about being a recluse. So there's a component within you that's innate. I'm going to call this the innate. You're part of
real.
No, it's in you.
Yeah.
The inside. This is more your Akashic you. This is more the stuff that is just come from generations prior within
it's innate generation,
right?
So
Because some of this is genetic.
Family
and DNA
stuff.
and stuff like this. This is quantum physics. Is also included with human design. This is so this is what's innately in you. Because remember, I said the black side is your design. This is what your personality wants to experience, and the red stuff is all about your Akashic records and what's innately in you. It's literally like what has come through so many times that you've been on Earth. That this is just part of you, and part of you is about being a recluse.
What's your definition of recluse?
Mine would be needing time alone.
I need to do that now again,
yeah. And when you don't do that, you sulk like a child, which is why I laughed. If you don't get what you want, you sulk.
Well, really?
Yeah, you
With
do.
you even?
No, I've watched that. You just sulk.
Whereabouts?
I know. It was just, it's like a little 3-year-old, I'm not fucking happy shit. So, I mean, I could talk about where you lived previously, and you
shouldn't be talking about that.
You boys weren't playing nice together towards the end, and when you didn't like what someone else would say,
I cracked the shit.
You cracked the shit. That's called sulking.
I do that.
That's sulking like a child.
I do that quite quickly, don't I?
You do.
I'm quick to judge.
Yeah, sorry. So that is a major component when you're in the shadow of this. If you're not in your shadow, you're taking time out. So when you're in the negative component of this, you're sulking like a little child, and you're really good at doing that.
I didn't know if I did that.
Yeah,
I have to think
you
about
do.
that for a minute. I crack the shit when I get my own way. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you do. You're the kind that would, start making noises if your flatmate says don't make noises, or,
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah,
let's cook some more meat than normal.
Yeah, I don't like being told what to do.
Is this
correct?
correct?
That's it. Yeah, I don't like being told what to do.
Right. So this is a major component of when you're in your shadow.
Oh, that's through my conditioning.
Oh. Not good, is it? Reclusing is fine. Going and spending time with self is fine. But when you're behaving in your shadow, you're behaving like a 3-year-old. So you need to.
The shit from a 3-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tantrum. Yeah, and you need to actually be a lot more conscious about that.
I flip into that real quick.
You flip into it really quick.
I'm quick to judge.
Yeah.
I'm quick to make decisions always. I'm quick at everything I do.
So you really need to sort of
everything.
Yeah. So you really need to think about that, because
I need to think, not do.
If you need to now start pulling yourself up when you're acting like having a 3-year-old tantrum, because that means that you're in the shadow of quite a powerful part of who you are. And then what you need to do is you need to learn to...
Shadow's bad stuff, right?
It's bad stuff. So you need to put yourself in time out. Time out is fine. It's called your recluse. Instead of having a dummy spit, you need to just put yourself in time out and go to your room. Time out, go to your room.
Go to your room, Brett. Go stare at the paint on the wall.
The 24 is your other sun gate with your personality, which is actually said it's overcoming irrational to triumph over regression. So, look, I'm sort of going to go back to this whole having this need to over-rationalize everything. So when you stop rationalizing everything is when you're going to time out.
Let it go, like Frozen.
Because that's why
If
you keep over rationalizing and going round and round and round and round and round and round, that means you're regressing back. So that's again your shadow component. So when you actually are in your power of the gate 24 is for you to overcome that, and then you're the winner. Overcome this need to keep rationalizing everything. Just freaking accept it and move on.
Find an answer. Yep. I've come to need to find an answer. So that's happened, done, see you later, bye.
Yeah.
Because it was you're not living in the now then, am I? I'm living in the past, in effect. So,
correct.
Oh, that's easy. Live in the now.
Live in the now. So the other components is your earth sign, which is your, again, we've got the gate 33, and this is 33.6. So this is about letting go and retreating. So again, let go of something and just go time out. Walk away. So if you're getting triggered, so all of this is about you would easily get triggered. Because remember, we've got this pressure of the mental. Right? Mm-hmm. That's one of your major ones is, I know everything, right? And I'm going to tell everyone I'm certain. I freaking know. Guess what? Sometimes you don't, and you got to suck that shit up. Because when you'll get because you've got this throat activated, you're going to be able, you'll use your throat to keep saying, yeah, but I know. And it's like, this is when you're in your shadow. This is when you're in the negative component.
I know shadow and I know it's ego.
It is all about ego, so we need to murder the ego. Yeah? Okay. So that's a major part. So what you need to do is that just let it go and retreat. Go back, time out. Put yourself in time out. I know that sounds like a kid thing, but it's so important to retreat and walk away sometimes. If you're with a partner, for example, and you're getting triggered, and you know you're getting triggered, and you're feeling that pressure, and you're in your head, and you're like, but you want to try to get your point across, let it go and say, you know what, I just need to go for a little bit, but you need to make sure you add, but I'll be back, okay, and you need to leave.
Well, I've walked off before, and didn't explain why, just come back.
Well,
like a day later.
Okay, so the error there is you need to tell the other person, I will be back.
Well, only fortunately.
Yeah, I'll be back. Unfortunately, most of us don't do that. Okay? So you need to learn to let shit go and to retreat again. So you've got this recluse and retreat part that's coming up. So this is putting yourself in timeout so you can recenter yourself. And that's what that's about.
That's why I need to sleep a lot. Yeah.
And yeah, what's this one? 34. Okay, so and the other one was over here. The Earth at the gate 44 was about basically how you handle the fact that you instinctively know other people's capabilities. So this would be about really making sure that when you're telling people about it, it's about, and you have this in you, is that you're able to express it in a creative way, so it's gentle. Yeah. Because the clients that you would attract will be very different to me, right? Your clients need a little bit more gentleness, right, with how you would work with them, because you're going in very quickly into their emotional components of them. It's like you drill down into the little emotional belly and go stir it. Yeah. So this is about, what's there, you can see it. It's about how you articulate it. So when you're in the high expression, it's how you do that. Yeah. And if you're in a situation where you're with someone and say you're on a date and you can just see that shit,
all the time.
If you went out and blurted it out, she just that's it, date's over. That's when you're in your shadow again. And that's an ego thing.
Ego, which is the I am, I guess.
Yeah. So.
And puts me in the feminine as well.
Yeah. So we don't want that.
No.
We don't want to play with that.
Oh man.
Okay, so there's a few other things that we want to have a look at here. Okay, so
interesting.
I want this to come up in a sense. All right, 1 minute. All right. So now we're going to go. This is quite deep into your chart. We're now going to. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So basically with this, I'm now going to have a look at a component of your charts, which is about your motivation and which is sort of in a way how you see the world and your work. We're going to look at your health, which is the best environment for you to be in. And these components are quite different. So your motivation is called innocence. So this is about innocently observing without purpose and to maintain one's impartiality in order to be oneself. So you need to learn to be impartial, which is the complete opposite to me. This is important for you. No, being impartial is, instead of going, it is the killing the ego of the I know.
Yeah, that's not I know.
All right.
I don't need to tell people. I need to tell myself I know.
This is about being an observer of what's happening, but not having to actually, like, you're not doing it with a motive in mind.
Just listen and say nothing.
Yeah, so in other words, stop fixing people.
I know that I know, but I need to tell people.
Correct, and this is what this is about. This is really important, that you do it without a motive. You listen to someone's story without a motive behind it. Mm-hmm. So let's just say, for example, you're at an event and you happen to stand next to someone because you just talk to strangers. That's what you do, and then someone opens up to you.
Is that my human design to talk to strangers?
No, it's because your throat's activated. I think you just do it. It's not necessarily in here. I haven't seen that specifically in your chart. Yep. But this is about, say you're at the Mind Body Soul and you had someone that was at the booth next to you and you started talking to them, and then they opened up with that trust thing. They opened up and they told you, and you listened to what they had. That's great, right? But if you did it and you listened and you started talking to people and you walked around going, I'm going to talk to people because I know I can help them, but then I might be able to bring them on as a client, that's going in with a motivation.
Yeah.
Wrong. That's how you screw yourself and screw your business.
Yeah.
So if you want to have a conversation with somebody, with a stranger, and they happen to open up, you need to do it with you're an observer.
Just say thank you for sharing.
Yes. And it's not about, so what do you do? Oh, yeah, I can get another client that way. Because in a way, it's really like that push energy. It's like right? So in a way, it works in with that. So this is about, really coming in and, observing. Yes.
Listen and give. Listen without tell.
Yes. Okay.
Give one ask.
Yep. So, yeah, and especially if you're in a situation where there's a debate happening, you to be the observer, not to pick a side.
Yep.
Because when you do that,
I'll grow from that.
Totally. Yeah, because remember, you've got these components. I shouldn't call them negative, but you've got these components that sit there going, I'm trying to rationalize everything, and then I've got this open ajna center, the third eye, that's saying, I'm going to tell someone because I'm certain about this. Right? This is about working with all of this together. So this is about when something's happening, just be the innocent observer. Hold the space. And don't do it with a motive. Hold the space. Exactly. The art of shutting the fuck up is powerful. And just holding the space. Specifically when you're around women.
That's what I need. Correct.
Because we're always just doing the big V, the venting. We don't want you to freaking fix our problems. So, even when you don't feel comfortable, even when you feel like the situation that you're witnessing, that there's an injustice, you still need to just be the innocent observer. Yeah. Okay? All right. So then we've got the next one is your perspective on the world. So you have a social spirit that identifies what is missing, what is inadequate, and which contribution could be influential. So you actually can sense what's happening in a social area. So you can see what's being what's missing and how you can balance out what's happening around you, which you do tend to do quite easily. But then again, you use that throat. You've got to be really careful with how you use this throat area because yours is quite activated.
Yep.
So this is when you do this,
yeah.
right? So instead of using your communication for good, you allow the open third eye to go blah, 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 but I'm certain, you need to hear me, but I'm certain. So this is great, this is activated because you can communicate in ways that most people can't do, but because you've got this open third eye part, you have to make sure that that's not what's coming into it. That when you're talking, you're communicating.
Somebody asked for permission.
Yeah.
It's a permission thing. That's I'm allowed to say from now on, I know that I know to myself and that's it.
So when you're in a social area, this is about, like when you're contributing to what's happening around you, you need to make sure that your contribution is done in the right manner. Okay.
You need permission.
Yeah.
Would you like me to share something?
Because it says here, this can, when you're quick to detect opportunities to make sensible contributions, and they can help you become influential and economically successful. So this is about how you're perceiving things and how you enter into this, right? So like I know you've talked about businesses of how you want to help people and educate and stuff like that. That is part of, the what's missing. Because you're looking at how can we contribute to educate more people, to help more people to enter into their power correctly and actually live better lives.
Yep.
So you want to do this. This is really innately in you.
Yep.
It's about knowing when to do it and how to do it. So make sure it ain't coming from this third eye, I need to blah, 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 blah. And it's not from the pressure, I have to. It's innately, it just is. So you need to watch that pressure cooker. I've got to get it done today. I've got to get it done today. It must happen, right? It will happen for you in the right context.
Well, I could just feel like now it's time. I've been
Maybe
sitting
it
for 2
is.
years.
He's going, it's time, baby. It's time.
It's time.
It's time. So on your chart, there's a bunch of arrows, and the arrows are what are called variables. And this one for you, this is called, see these arrows here? The direction of them? Okay. So you come under universal mind. You're always active, always hardworking, which is so you. So
they don't stop.
It says you actively take charge of your own survival and you work attentively on the goals and at the same time playfully observes everything around you. You always look for the one thing to focus on and always find so much else. That's part of your manifesting generator thing.
Oh, wow.
You see things that others cannot see, and you get distracted from their focus by others. Okay, so the stimulation from the outside helps strengthen your awareness, though. So, for you, that makes a lot of sense of how you've been in the last year or so.
Since we met.
Yeah, so you.
That's a good thing, yeah?
So, yeah, I mean, it's just about understanding, you can make things happen. Everything that's happening around you.
Let it happen.
You do.
In a way.
Yeah.
You need to let it happen more.
Yeah. So what
Is
are
that what you're saying?
In a way,
in relationships and business.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. So okay, so one of the major things with human design that we really teach about is we teach about the fact that the vehicle that your body, your physical body is your car, it's your vehicle.
Yep.
And what we do is we get in and we hold onto the steering wheel and we want control. I'm controlling my life. I'm controlling where it's going. I'm going to turn this corner and turn that corner. With human design, what we're trying to teach you is to let go of the steering wheel, get out of the driver's seat, get into the passenger seat,
and watch your life unfold.
And watch the view as it goes past. Correct.
So enjoy the good and the bad.
It's about the journey.
Straight away, the journey.
We're always focused on the outcome and the destination, and we're not here with the journey. And when we do that, we're holding onto the steering wheel. But what human design is about is letting go of the control and watching and just getting in the passenger seat and watching the view. So last year, I really got into this mode, and I had an entire year that was so unplanned where it took me everywhere but my home city. I was not even half the year I was in Melbourne.
Really?
I went to Singapore, I went to Bali 4 times, I was in Brisbane, the Gold Coast, the Sunshine Coast, I went to Uluru, you know, and, you know, I looked after people's children for 5 weeks, and I was like, what the hell am I doing here?
I remember those conversations.
Right. Yeah. So I ended up letting go of the steering wheel, and every time I went on these journeys, I'd talk to the universe and go, all right, I'm here, why? And there was always something for me to learn from each one of these experiences. Even when I was in the outback, again going, why am I here? And it was the penny dropping. Even though last year I'm holding the largest bucket of secrets you could imagine. I've got secrets that would destroy careers, that would destroy families, friendships, relationships, marriages, you name it. I've got so many secrets, reputations. And I was like, why? And the thing is that people feel comfortable enough to come to me and unlock their secrets really fast, right? And
would you say that again? What do you do? Unlock their secrets?
No, well, when they come to me, they feel comfortable enough that they unlock their secrets.
What do you do?
And what do I do?
Say it again.
I feel comfortable enough for people to come and unlock their secrets. And that's what happens.
You know where I'm going with this?
No. Well, now we're doing the session the other way around. What?
Say unlock their secrets. Unlock your secrets, hopefully.
Unlock your secrets. You like that? Okay, that can be
Business
part of
name
it. That can be
you.
part of it. All right, I'm right. I'm putting some notes down.
I see a lock that's been. You know,
like we've had that before.
Like a key lock.
Yes,
a key lock that's
we've had
open.
That. Yeah.
Throw the key away. A person throwing the key away. Man and a female throwing the key away.
Yeah.
Unlock your secrets. And I said red. I said white background.
I think I might do that for another component of the business because my logo is pretty strong right now.
I know, but this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dull it down a bit.
So the thing is
I might go with that myself, unless it's sort of new, but you certainly resonated with me.
Well, maybe it is part of you, because I know mine is pretty strong.
Yeah, I love that logo.
I know, it's pretty
Unlock
good,
your secrets. I see it.
So my point of the matter here is the fact that I was like, why do I have so many secrets? And it was the fact that I could hold the space enough for these people to be vulnerable and to be able to tell me something which is like a weight off people's shoulders in a way, but they, you know, and show me the real version of them instead of, you know, they haven't shown everyone, they've shown me. I'm like the test bunny, and it takes a lot for somebody to share a secret.
You they told me a life story in like a minute.
Yeah, but there's life stories and there's secrets.
Well,
there's a story and then there's secrets.
You told me the truth. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm getting secrets. I'm getting secrets that sometimes nobody knows.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right? So, you know, this is so that's, you know, I was sitting there going, you know, why am I getting these secrets? But what it was is I was, you know, able to hold the space for people to be able to get some relief from what their life is all about, which is where I work. And I've got a good erase button. I just try and erase some of those secrets. It's just like, I don't want to remember them. Right?
Remember someone told me a secret like 15 years ago, and they said to me one day, you tell me that? I said, no, what I did when people tell me stuff, I throw it in the bin.
You've got to do that, yeah. So this journey that I went on was about having all of these experiences and being in places that I could assist people, and that's not what I thought was going to happen.
But that's what you do, actually.
Yeah, but I hadn't put the 2 and 2 together. So I'm going, why am I looking after this person's kids? I thought I was just there to make sure they didn't die, but it was a lot bigger than that. Why am I in the middle of Australia? You know, why am I there? And I rock up and my friend is unrecognisable because he's going through some serious trauma. And it was like, I can use my tools to just hold the space so he can feel safe. So this is what it is when you decondition yourself and you learn to let go of the steering wheel and stop having this control. And the control is going to come from the shadow. It's going to come from those components where you're going, I'm certain, I've got to make sure everybody knows that I know what I'm doing and I'm certain. You've got to stop with the pressure cooker and thinking about things too much. Right? Once you let go of those components of the shadow, you let go of the steering wheel and you get into the passenger seat, universe is going to take you on a journey for where you're supposed to go.
Watch life go
So
by.
this is about just being.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at, okay, your nutrition. So this is about, yours is about, you're a hunter. Okay, so yours is about appetite and smell. So this is the new components of the stuff that I haven't spoken about before. So this one says you are only supposed to eat when you get hungry.
Because it's better for me, I have more energy.
But that's for you. It doesn't work for me. So my design says I must touch my food with my hands to activate my digestive system, and I should eat when the sun goes down.
I've always got food on hand in my golf bag all the time.
All right. So for you, you need to always, but only eat when you're hungry. So if you happen to go out for lunch with somebody and you're not hungry, don't eat the lunch. Don't eat just because.
No, I've stopped doing that.
Good.
The last couple of years.
Okay.
2 meals a day and stuff like that.
When you do eat, you should be eating large meals. So not snacking. Start to eat bigger meals, bigger amounts when you're actually eating your food.
Yep.
Because you've got a very strong digestive system. For you prefer very simple, natural, pure foods such as pure meats, so good clean meat, not your crappy meat.
Yep.
Nuts and fruits you would have as a snack. When you're hungry, you will eat a lot. And when you are full, you can go without food for a long time until you feel empty again. So you think of it like you fill the bin up.
I can binge and then
you're binging.
I have a big lunch and then I eat anything for dinner, I'm fine.
Exactly. You should have, your food should be prepared in a very simple way and consumed one at a time or separately. So you should have your main meal and then have a side dish. So you don't eat like a wok where we freaking have got all these dishes everywhere and
no.
You need to just have one plate. Think of
Yeah.
it like eat with one big ass plate. This is interesting. It says you should avoid using too many spices or eating dishes that involve cooking too many products at once. So in other words, it's saying have more simple meals.
That's what Christina said. I just feel like cut oats for breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So it's saying don't be mixing too much shit together. Your digestive system actually has struggles having processed food.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Now when we look at the smell component, the most important physical sense is the sense of smell. Once you trust that the sense when it comes to selecting your food, if it doesn't smell good, don't eat it. So for you, that's going to be massive.
Yeah.
So if there's a smell that turns you off a bit, don't be forcing yourself to eat it at all. You just shouldn't be eating it, period.
No, I can't smell too good, so I don't think.
That's actually not uncommon with men. So again, for you, this is about real simple eating. So you can have meat and 3 veg is fine in your diet. Like one big plate, meat and 3 veg, and it doesn't have to be some fancy over-the-top dish.
Food. It's just the way it means to them. Just food. Give me some food. Oh, I'll go and do something else now.
Yeah.
I can go do lots of stuff today.
Yes, exactly.
Give me the simple stuff.
So if you start eating like this, your body you actually start losing weight.
What's what happened when John the fitness trainer got me on the meals?
There you go.
Just chicken and
Keep it real simple. Yeah.
And I loved
Keep
it.
your meals really simple.
Weird.
Yeah.
Even though it was bland, I guess, it actually tasted better.
There you go.
And that's why.
That's what it's saying. Yeah. Okay.
No, I actually loved it.
Now, the environment that you should be living in to develop your talents.
This is a new one,
yeah? I've never discussed all of this. So for you, it's actually living near water. Yeah, well, you were even closer. You were across the road before, and you're close. So this is really important to you, and this is about seeing the horizon. So luckily, where you're living now, you're a bit higher up too. So for you, I don't know what your view is, being on the second floor, but for you, being able to see that is going to be really important. So
you've got to look out.
And like doing nighttime walks on the beach then would be really good. It says...
When I dated a girl a lot of years ago, she used to work overseas on super yachts. I used to go to the ocean at Black Rock and look at the boats come in. Because you just don't think.
Well, this is
feel.
even about having, like, say, I live really high up, so I've got a very wide view and it's unobstructed. That's perfect for you. Living up high is also perfect for you, if you've got a view. So it's about seeing things in the distance, seeing the seashore or a lake or the edge of a forest. Something that's got a really nice view is important for you.
Well, I like
and something that's a bit more natural.
Trees.
There you go.
Meditation for me.
Yeah, so this is about natural environments. Is
That's
really
why I love going
good.
1,000 steps. I love going there.
There you go.
I'm drawn to it.
It's good.
I'd rather go there than go to the girls' house. Should have just went.
See, you learn a new thing every freaking day, don't you? All right, so because we're doing the bigger ones, we're going a little bit deeper. The last component that we're going to cover for your chart is going to be we're going to go into the way that you basically are within relationships and what your language is. We're going to talk about, it's not technically the language of love. It's going to be, because you don't want to go into the love, because trust me, love ain't what we think it is. We're going to talk about what most people talk about in love is really your sexuality and how it works for you and what's your language and how does that work. So you are what's called very tribal. So tribal means that it's about safety and security. This is quite important within a relationship for you. This is more about, okay, so I'm going to get really blunt with this one. There is no sexual focus. Now, I know you're a man and all men are visual and all the rest of it. We've had this conversation before. But safety and security is the number one thing in a relationship for you. Okay?
Yeah,
and the sex comes with the negotiation. It's part of the negotiation it's like a contract.
Okay.
It's a contract. Right? If I get this, I give this. And it works,
So I need that.
Yeah, it's really important.
So
this friendship
if that comes too easy, it's no good for me.
It's not that if the sex comes too easy, it's that for you, friendship is going to be important. Friendship is going to be imperative in a relationship for you.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about the spark and it's not necessarily exciting. It's comfortable.
Easy.
Yeah. It's security. It's about having someone with you to, go through life with. And it's about the resources that you bring together. It's this team. You guys are the team, tribal team.
Well, time out early, then we're changing to team.
Right? So it's about finding that commonality in your partnership, and within that, you get this security. So let's go into exactly what you've got in here. So you've got quite a few of the tribal gates. You've got 3 of 4 for starters. So normally when you've got the solar plexus open, it means you're an empath. Yours is activated, but because you have gate number 19, it means you're an empath. So that's where you feel other people's stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but the 19 is, this is the lines here, going up here and then into this red bit, right, into the heart. These lines is what is your main components of your chart. So with that, it is all about the bride and groom. It's about the setup for marriage. So this is about flirting. So you start off with the whole flirting. You love the flirting, right? But you've only got one half of that gate. So you're always looking for the other half. And the other half is gate 49, which is part of the courting process. And this is about demanding obedience. So at least you don't ask for it, but you're going to attract a partner who will. Okay. So this is about. Yeah. All right. Let me explain. So setting up for marriage is about courting and it's about flirting. And so the person that you love to flirt, which you do, okay, that's the vocal
I do it a lot,
bit.
don't I?
Yeah, right. But while you're flirting, the person that you're flirting with, that you were going to attract that has that gate, is going, is this flirting worth it for me?
They reckon I flirt everywhere.
No, well, not necessarily. Has it got potential? Has this guy who's flirting with me got potential to fulfill my needs?
Okay. Yep.
Right? That's when you're going to attract the right person. So you're going to flirt. You just flirt. This is when you just throw. It's like this. I just flirt with my thumb. I'm flirting everywhere, right? I'm just doing the flirting. Exactly. So I'm just doing the flirting, right? And, you know, the one that's going to reciprocate that is going to be the person that can see that maybe there's a need, there's potential that you're going to fulfill a need that they're looking for. And this is the start of courting.
Mm-hmm.
For you, then it moves with that person to the marriage contract. So from the solar plexus up to the heart area, you've got activated, and this is where we get a bit more practical. This is where you love cuddles.
Yeah,
You're a cuddle monster.
Yeah.
So it's about friendship, it's about cuddles, it's about sexual affection. Right? So even though I said the tribal is not necessarily about sex, right? Because that's a collective is more like that. So that's me, right? Because it's about experiential. It's about sexual affection. That's different. It's not necessarily about the act itself. It's an emotional...
Intimacy,
emotional so, you know, the relationship for you is not about sex. It's about hard work. It's about your attitude towards relationships are hard work. This is about quality of our life that we're going to have together. You know, are we going to work together? Okay. Can we work together? Because this is a setup for the marriage contract.
Yep.
So for you, you know, I'm surprised you've got... on one hand, I would say I'm surprised you've got this far in life without being married. But on the other side, I can see your profile as a 3-6
thing?
No, it's the 3-6 because you're never going to meet the right person until you get into the later stage of life. That's when you're going to attract the right person. So in your 50s, you're going to start attracting the right person. Right now, you're standing up on the roof, looking down, just going, oh, this is too hard. This dating thing is just hard freaking work. That's where you should be in your life right now. It's hard work. It's not easy. It doesn't flow nicely. So, a comfortable relationship for you, it's not about the sex. It's about everything else in the package. It is about, am I getting cuddles?
Well, I always used to say...
And am I a friend with this girl?
I always used to say years ago, it was like, I need to date my best mate effect.
And that is exactly what you need. You'll find that the tribal people are a lot more conservative. They're more traditional, right? It's more old tradition. You know, sex is just part of the marriage. It's part of the bargain that comes with the marriage. Touch. Okay, so here, let me try and explain to you how it works with tribal people. Tribal people is literally your partner just needs to put their hands on you. That's it, no words. This means I'm here for you. I'm here for you. So it's not about, you don't need words. You're not like the others. You don't need lots of words. It's about, I need to just know that she's here for me. That's all you need. That's all you guys need. Okay? Now this is... Well, if you're with someone else that's tribal.
Oh, okay,
But you may not be. All this time you may have been dating someone that was just physical or just auditory. And they just want to hear you say, I love you, and the romance words and the chick flick shit. And you're just going, I don't fucking need that. Because that's not you. You're not individual.
I just need that.
You just need someone to go, this says, I got you. I got your back. I'm here for you. Okay. So, really, this is for you. You've got the setup into marriage, and then you've got the marriage. Yeah, because we're finishing soon anyway, because you've got to go to work.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so the other component with you, so funnily enough, we actually call the tribals about 99% possession. It's nearly an ownership.
Like me saying I own you, that's what I just thought of when you said that.
It is. Because you've got to remember, this is something that's been going on for like
forever.
400 years, and it's in the middle of changing. So by the year 2027, the tribal community is the one that has set up our governance and our roads and our infrastructure. That's the tribal people, right? And the tribal people have been needed, but now things are morphing. So you'll find that in regards to sensuality and sexuality and stuff like that, it is going to change in the future. Yeah, it's just trying to connect to the internet. It doesn't matter, right? Things are going to morph and they're going to change, and so eventually you're going to go from feeling like this, and within the next 8 years, it's going to be more about you as an individual. You're not going to care so much about the traditional things. The tradition will start to change, and it'll be more about you as an individual. So there is a morph that's going to happen in the future, but right now, for you, it's about, I need to know she's mine. I need to know that she's there for me. I need to know that we're really good friends, and when I can have that, then I'm there.
Yep.
Okay.
Earn it, not just get it.
Exactly. You do have the gate 6, which is what we call the yin gate, and this one here is about the source of pleasure and pain. So you have your needs, passions, and desires. So this is about, are you willing to reproduce or not?
Kids, you mean, right?
Kids. And with your chart, but we've got it here.
You need power.
Yeah, I eventually will, because this is dead. No, because we're nearly done. It's all right. So basically, yeah, with this one here, really having kids is not really on the cards.
Well, you mean making them?
Having them.
Having them in my life at all?
No, your own children.
Yeah, no,
it's actually not even on your chart anywhere. In fact, if anything, you'd
be
a bit resentful if you had them.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay. What else can I tell you here?
Is that me or?
No. No. So, this is the tribal part. Right. So, yours is very, it's pretty much about, I want to be obeyed and honour and love someone. So when it turns bitter, you're going to ignore them, and and this betrayal and hate will come into it. So you'll be bitter little shit.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
That's how I get over it.
That's how you get over it. Okay, and the last one, love gates, right? Do we have any here?
Probably not.
Okay, so for you, so your language of love is about succeeding with another. So it's really about getting the right person on your team, and together you can succeed. That's really important for you. Teamwork for you is so important in a relationship. So this is about it's like you have the housewife and you have the breadwinner. You've got your job of looking after the house. My job is bringing in the money, right? And your whole focus is about success. So money can come into this. So basically, you're always looking for someone that you can be successful with.
In business as well?
This is just in life.
In anything.
Yeah. So it's very much, you will look at them and go, can I be successful with you? That's the question that you're going to ask.
That's the question I'd ask.
That is the question you will ask, even unconsciously right now. If this woman comes in my life and she's, do I think that I can be successful with her? Because for you, this is all about. Success is important for you in a relationship, right? So a lot of it will come down to money. So if things don't work out, you're going to turn around and you go, when you're in your not self, you're going to sit there and go, well, I bought that couch, that's mine. And that one's yours. So it's just the mine yours thing when you're actually not behaving correctly. So, that's something that's really important. And also, what else do you have here? 1828. Here we go. Love of purpose. Oh, okay. So here's where okay, so when it comes to love, you do have a little bit of the romance stuff. You do like a bit of it. All romance begins with what you don't have. So this is about, yeah, you're a bit of, this is where for you there has to be some sort of purpose behind it. And so you do like some words. So you have a romantic component within you, but you have to be in the mood. If you're not in the mood, romance doesn't happen with you.
No, we're doing something else. Don't wait, come back. I've got to finish this off. Then I can talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
But then, part of that, then comes down to the whole, passion. Passion is pain. Pain is love.
Passion is pain?
Yeah, passion is pain and pain is love. So then...
I don't like pain.
So if there's no struggle, then there's no love. So
I need competition. That sort of sounds like a sport thing.
Yeah, in a way.
I like to be competitive.
Well, you can be a risk taker. Yeah. So, yeah, words actually do come into it a little bit.
No, I like words, information, words.
So that is the main... Okay, so that's the main component stuff for you.
We've got
3% left. And look at that. Oh, we've got exactly an hour and a half that we've gone through this. So that's a lot of information for you. So
are we going to do another video after this?
Not today.
You're not publishing this, eh? Are you publishing
I'm
this?
probably.
Go for it. So, what's the next step? So what do I do now?
So right now,
take action from this. Yes. What do I do now?
Okay, so for starters, I want you to understand that you need to do multiple things at once to use up your energy.
Which is what I'm doing.
I need you to, you should be making sure that you spend some time looking at the horizon, getting
future.
Right now. Grounding, going to the beach, doing walks, being physical, as in go to the gym, do more walking, do some physical exercise, and that you need to make your decisions emotionally. You need to feel it in your body and go, where do I feel it, and does it feel good or bad?
Where do I feel it? Yeah, I'm just trying to do it from yesterday.
And that's what I want you to focus on right now. This is what I need you to start doing for, say, the next month.
So what part of my body do I feel when I'm with that person? With
any decisions. Decisions. This is about how you make decisions. Where do you feel it in your body? Does it feel good or bad? And that's how you make your decisions.
Yep.
That's it. That's all I want you to concentrate on for now. And make sure you eat good solid meals.
Yeah, I need to get back.
So that's it from us.
All right, thanks.
So
another video to come soon.
Oh my God! So this is a much longer reading. This will give you an idea of what it's like when I go and I read your chart, and then Brent will end up having his own blueprint manual, so he can go back and slowly go into each component later. But yeah.
Thanks, Mel.
Thanks.
You're the best, Mel. Unlock my secrets. That's what.
We're unlocking his secrets. Bye from me.
Bye.